Once you have an account set up and log in, you'll be on the clients page. And we haven't set any clients up yet, so this area will be blank. So to get started, we'll download the client for the system we're working with. And I'll just download one from my MacBook now. And that'll download the client software. And once we run it, we'll have a QR code or a link where we can register our laptop as a client. Once I have the client application running on my machine, this is what I should see. And we could either click here on this link to connect this client with our account, or we could use a phone to scan the QR code and log into our dashboard that way. So if you're using something like a Raspberry Pi, the QR code will show up on a display, and you could use a phone to scan the QR code. But I'm on a laptop now, so I'll just click that link and log in that way. And we'll enter the username and password and log in, and immediately we're asked to give our client a new name. So I'll just call this laptop, and I'll click save. And now we'll see that our laptop is online, it's on the free plan, and it was last seen at this time and date. And we could always refresh that information here, and we could add it to a paid plan with this button here, delete it, or we could select it. And that's what we'll do now. We'll click on select, and as soon as we select it, we are brought to the services page. Now we could always jump back and forth between our clients with this little side menu here. This will have a list of all the clients in our account. And we could always see which client is selected here up at the top. But we want to add a new service for the FSR Flex. So I'll give my new service a name, click Add Service. It'll show up there. We see that it's offline because it hasn't been set up yet. Click on Select, and then here under Service Type, we will select the device we'd like. Now we could select a plain TCP client and put in an IP address and port and then create our commands that way, but we want to use this pre-made service so that all of our commands are already done for this. And we scroll down here, we see as soon as we're selected, we see all the commands that are available to us and the responses as well. And all I need to do is enter in the IP address of my Flex unit, which I happen to know offhand. And as soon as I click Save, the service file will get pushed down to my laptop in this case, or whatever the client is, and it will get started. And we could, again, use this refresh button up here to see the status. We see that it's now installed and ready to go. So right now I can start controlling it. If I click this beep button, I'll hear a beep from my FSR Flex, and all of these other commands are also available to me. Now, for the Flex, we have some sample commands. So we can't always foresee exactly what you'll need in your system, so we put some sample commands down here, and you could just click on the pencil to edit those commands and use them for however you need in your system. And again, just click Save, and they'll be ready to go. So I'm already doing remote monitoring. I could log into my dashboard and see the online status if that TCP connection is connected and when it was last connected. We can open this up here and actually send commands to the device, and that's all available in the free plan. To take advantage of the paid features, we'll go back over to clients, and if we're subscribed to a paid plan, then we'll have a plus sign over here next to each client, and we could just click on that and it'll become part of our paid plan. And once we're upgraded to that paid plan, then we could start using features like Alexa integration. We could add an Alexa device. Let's call this a display. We'll add that there. And just very quickly, let's go through this. We could select, this is for the display and the Alexa app, not very important. The type, also not important to us, but now we're getting interesting. Our service, we could select the FSR Flex that we just set up. And once we select that, the Alexa Smart Home API becomes available, and we could use their directives like turn on and turn off, and we could route those commands wherever we like. So in this case, we have all of those FSR commands available to us. And maybe I set up an IR in the Flex system, and that'll be available here to use with Alexa integration. So pretty interesting stuff, and there's more videos that get more into detail on that. We also have notifications. You could get an email when any of those commands are sent or when something goes offline. We have automations as well, where you could set up a trigger and an action. So the trigger could, again, be when a device goes online or offline, or when a command or response is received, and we could select any of the any of the commands in our system. So whenever that GPIO is pressed, we could, I don't know, let's do something silly here. We could send an email, but in this case, let's do something right on the same device. We'll make the beep sound. So whenever that GPIO gets pulsed, a beep will sound on that. Not very useful, but of course you could also, I don't know, send another IR command or send out a serial command. And you click save, and then all that is ready to go. Pretty fun stuff. And moving forward, we'll be integrating data analytics so that you know exactly how your systems are being used. I hope you enjoyed this brief overview of the FSR Flex integration with Catch Connect.